Vote in here. Where were you on January 15th, 2009? Do you remember watching the rescue? I sure do. I was living in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, about 90 minutes outside of New York City. I'd ridden that ferry from Hoboken that was one of the first rescue vessels so many times. As I watched the rescue on TV, it seemed very personal to me, even though I didn't know anyone on the flight. Carolina Impact's Jeff Saunier and videographer Doug Stacker join us one last time from New York City, where the miracle on the Hudson still inspires.
Yeah, you know, 10 years ago, everybody was watching, even here in Times Square. All these screens showing all those scenes of the landing and the rescue and the heroes who saved all those passengers on Flight 1549.
Yeah, I can't see it. You know, there's all boats. I mean, I can see the head of it, like half the tail's in, but I can't see how big it is.
They were watching from the balconies, bridges, and boat docks that overlook the Hudson River.
Doesn't make any sense. They've landed in the Hudson River.
These high-rise office windows giving office workers a frightening front row seat. The clock ticking, the plane sinking.
Wow!
Some even capturing those moments on home video.
Wow! I mean, everyone's around it. The boats are trying to keep it up. It's kind of floating by the tide down. It's right out our window. But, man, I was sitting right by the computer and I didn't even hear it go in or anything.
We're in New York. We have a lot of people. We have a lot of emotions, personalities. But when something happens, everybody bands together for the single purpose. Safety first, helping people. And I think 10 years down the road, people still see it the same way. It's the nation coming together to help others.
Yep, that's really what transformed the miracle on the Hudson over the past 10 years, from New York's story to, you know, everybody's story.
It's not uncommon. In fact, it happens just about every day for people to walk into this gallery, round the corner here, and see this towering plane above them and have a sense of awe and reverence, and to become tearful about it.
Stephen Saucier is president of the Carolinas Aviation Museum, where thousands make the pilgrimage to see the plane.
Can you imagine standing on that wing out in the middle of the river, slippery, cold? You picture the movie with the people standing on that wing. It's amazing.
To hear the history of Flight 1549.
The questions are, is that the real plane? It's funny, even through adults, is that the real plane?
To feel that miracle on the Hudson for themselves.
Because most people, as they experience the plane and read the panels and watch the films and really understand this story, they start putting themselves in that position of, oh my goodness, this could have been me.
To finally bring her home and, you know, where she was scheduled to go.
Flight 1549 passenger Ben Bostic was part of that memorable slow-rolling truck caravan, finally bringing the plane back to Charlotte years later and bringing out thousands of well-wishers along the way, many still remembering how the miracle on the Hudson made them feel when it happened. And seeing the plane again, well, maybe giving them another chance to feel that way again.
Crowds would come, and they were touching it. If you watch the film, you see like these young children touching it. Oh, I touched it, and it gives me goosebumps.
People would say to me, thank you. Thank you for reminding me that we're never guaranteed tomorrow. Nothing's ever guaranteed about life.
We have something in common that will never go away, and it's my mission to take this all over the world.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And as those Flight 1549 passengers and crew members,
thank you,
as they gather 10 years later in Charlotte with the rescuers who helped them survive.
I haven't let it get to my head, and, you know, I'm pretty humble about it. I still go home every day.
We're struck by how normal these heroes still are and how close these strangers have become. Are you surprised that 10 years after the fact, and I know the answer to this question, that you all still stay in contact?
No, not at all.
Get together?
No, we really have become a family. And it's a celebration of life when we get together.
Now they're getting together again with that same plane out of LaGuardia that they boarded 10 years ago, finally making its Charlotte destination. That same battered and beaten plane holding together on a cold day in Manhattan to keep them all alive. And the story of Miracle on the Hudson making us all feel a little more alive. The story of ordinary people like us, all doing something extraordinary together.
It's like these guys could be dead, you know, but here they are.
What makes this story live on?
I think it's because of the feeling of good that it gives people, and mostly it's because it feels like a miracle. So many things together felt like a miracle. And people love a miracle. Miracles are hopeful. Miracles give people hope.
And as we finish up here in New York, people always say, bring us back a souvenir. Well, you know, back in Charlotte, we probably already have the biggest and best souvenir of all when it comes to Miracle on the Hudson. Amy?
Thanks so much, Jeff and Doug. Well, Jeff, I think you're right. The ultimate souvenir of the Miracle on the Hudson is really this plane. When you're standing right here next to it, I think it's really hard not to feel chills. Well, we hope you've enjoyed this special edition of Carolina Impact. Thanks so much for joining us. We always appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you back here again next time on Carolina Impact. Good night, my friends.